Hey there, Jamie here, and I help creators like you get much more mileage out of every single video without completely burning out. Today, I'm going to walk you through a super practical thumbnail workflow that is fast, completely free, and genuinely repeatable every single time. We'll also pair this simple process with a cool AI workflow, so you can effectively churn out content like a well-oiled machine. If you're brand new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, definitely stick around because this strategy will genuinely save you hours every single week. Let's be real, thumbnails remain one of the absolute biggest levers for actually getting those initial views on your videos. No matter how incredible your title is, or how perfectly optimized your SEO, if the visual doesn't immediately grab attention, people simply won't click. The fantastic news in all of this is that you absolutely do not need to be a Photoshop wizard or constantly spend a ton of cash to make thumbnails that truly pop. A lot of talented creators tend to overcomplicate this entire process, assuming they need those expensive apps or must hire dedicated designers for every single graphic. Now, that approach certainly works if you already have a big, established budget, but for the vast majority of creators looking to seriously scale, there is a significantly smarter path available. So let's start with step 1, filming the actual thumbnail-friendly frame from your video content. If your video features you prominently, do yourself a massive favor. At the very end of your recording session, just stay in the frame for a few extra seconds and strike a few different thumbnail poses. Try a big cheesy smile, or maybe point dramatically at something invisible just off screen, or even make a genuinely shocked face, whatever fits your unique vibe. This sounds incredibly obvious, but hunting through one long take for that single decent freeze frame later on is always annoying and a huge time drain. If you just take a few intentional shots right at the end, you immediately have great options, and you'll save yourself crucial time later in the edit. Next, capture that perfect frame using whatever player or editor you happen to be using at the moment. VLC has a simple snapshot function. Your editing software can definitely export a frame, or you can simply blow the playback full screen and then screenshot the moment. Make sure you save that crucial image somewhere highly obvious so you can locate it again without any mental searching. Now that we have our source image, let's talk about setting up the correct canvas size for the platform. For standard YouTube uploads, you should always begin with a crisp 1920 by 1080 resolution canvas. You can easily use Canva, which is free and works across all platforms, or maybe Keynote or PowerPoint if you prefer a dedicated desktop application. For the absolute majority of people, Canva is my top recommendation because it is incredibly fast and has all the necessary presets you'll ever need without any paid subscription. However, the secret sauce is never actually the tool itself. It's always about the underlying layout structure and the contrast you establish. Import your chosen freeze frame into that new canvas and scale it up just a tiny bit so you have a little room to move it around as needed. Then, always add a simple solid block or a basic shape directly behind your main headline text to ensure maximum legibility. This simple technique is the easiest trick in the book to make your text highly readable, even when viewed at very small sizes. When it comes to fonts, use something clean and decidedly bold, like Oswald or a similar typeface. Crank up that size and pick one high contrast color for the letters. Generally, bright white text placed on top of a very dark block of color tends to work exceptionally well for almost any topic. Here are a couple of quick actionable design tips that genuinely help push your thumbnails over the edge in effectiveness. First, keep your primary text short and punchy. Aim for just 2 to 4 powerful words if you can possibly manage that constraint. Second, never bury any vital text or any small logos near the bottom right or top right corners of the design. That is because YouTube automatically overlays things like watch later icons and the video timestamp right in those spots when a user hovers their mouse. For adding a bit of personality, try applying a subtle angle to that background rectangle or using a slightly rotated element in the composition. This small touch makes the thumbnail feel significantly more custom-made without requiring you to actually put in a ton of extra design effort. One crucial step I always include is to slightly boost the image saturation and add just a touch of sharpening in the editing application. Thumbnails are often viewed incredibly tiny on mobile phones, so a slightly oversaturated and punchier image just reads much better at that small thumbnail size. Don't go overboard with the processing, but that little bit of extra pop definitely helps your image stand out from the feed. All right, that covers the entire manual, repeatable thumbnail creation workflow, which is fantastic for getting started. But now, here is where the entire game fundamentally changes for high-volume creators like yourself. If you're publishing content regularly, and I mean multiple shorts, clips, and long-form videos every single week, Doing this manually just adds up too much. That significant workload is precisely where tools built with AI, like Vizard, honestly come in and completely save your sanity from the grind. Vizard is an AI-first tool specifically engineered for turning your long-form videos into numerous ready-to-post short clips almost instantly. It automatically scans and finds all the interesting, high-engagement moments buried deep within your long footage and chops them into viral-ready segments. This means instead of you scrubbing through hours of raw takes searching for one potential highlight, Vizard proactively surfaces all the candidate clips for you. From there, you can open those suggested clips, pick the absolute best frame for your thumbnail, or just export the entire clip ready to upload. Honestly, using this automation is like suddenly having a junior editor who never needs sleep and works incredibly fast for you. Let's look at 3 specific Vizard features that truly make a measurable and significant difference in your output right away. Feature 1 is the auto-editing of viral clips. Vizard intelligently scans your long videos and pulls out the punchiest sections most likely to succeed as short-form content. This completely eliminates the guesswork involved in figuring out which specific parts of your video you should actually be promoting everywhere. It's certainly not perfect every single time, but the results are shockingly good, and they save you an absolutely massive amount of preparation time. Feature 2 is the auto-schedule capability. You simply set the desired posting frequency, and the AI queues the uploads for you automatically. You genuinely do not have to babysit a content calendar anymore because the tool manages the posting cadence, so you always stay consistent. Consistency is the secret sauce that actually grows channels, and this level of automation is what handles the tedious, repetitive grind for you. The third major feature is the centralized content calendar, which lets you manage, tweak, and publish clips across all your different platforms in one single view. That single consolidated workflow prevents the absolute chaos of trying to juggle 3 different apps and a dozen spreadsheets. Now, I certainly don't want to make Vizard sound like some magical wand that instantly fixes absolutely every single content problem you might have. It is not flawless. Sometimes the AI will miss crucial context, or you will definitely want to refine the exact start and end points of a clip. And of course, the critical final step, your thumbnails, will always require your unique, creative human touch for best results. But when you compare this to the tedious manual clip hunting and scheduling, it becomes a massive productivity multiplier for your efforts. Plus, when you look at some other services, Vizard sits in a really interesting and valuable spot in the market right now. Something like Photoshop gives you immense power, but it comes with a steep learning curve and often a high-cost barrier to entry. Canva is absolutely fantastic for the actual static design of the thumbnail, yet it offers zero help in auto-extracting your best video moments. And high-end subscription design firms are awesome if you need unlimited human work, but they always cost more money and add in that necessary back-and-forth revision step. Vizard truly sits in the sweet spot by cutting out the heaviest grunt work involved in clip discovery and scheduling entirely. This frees up your valuable time so you can focus much more on those higher-level creative tasks, like refining your final thumbnail look and crafting killer descriptions. Now, let's quickly run through a practical end-to-end example of how I would manage a full week of content using this exact combo. Step 1 is to record your long-form podcast or tutorial as you normally would, but make absolutely sure to throw in those 10 to 15 seconds of dedicated thumbnail poses at the very end. Step 2 involves uploading that raw, unedited video file directly into the Vizard platform to begin the analysis. Then, you just let the powerful AI scan the entire thing and generate that initial batch of short clips and suggested best timestamps for you. Step 3 is to open those suggested clips. Immediately pick the absolute best ones, and then export a perfectly clean frame for your thumbnail asset. Because Vizard has already surfaced the absolute punchiest moments, your thumbnail options are inherently highlight-worthy right from the start. Step 4 involves popping that crisp freeze frame into your design tool, adding that bold headline, the necessary contrast box, and maybe a small program logo. Then, you apply that crucial saturation boost and sharpening we discussed, and finally export the finished product as a standard JPEG file. Step 5 is super simple. Use Vizard's built-in scheduler or your preferred platform scheduler to queue up that clip alongside its perfect new thumbnail. Once that's set, you are essentially done with the production and promotion work for that specific piece of content for the week. If you genuinely prefer to have a human expert design all of your thumbnails, services like Design Pickle are great for handling batch work for a monthly fee. But you must always consider the trade-off here. That professional route always involves both a higher cost and an inherent delay for human turnaround time. Gotcha. For most busy creators aiming for maximum velocity, the sweet spot is using Vizard to auto-generate the clips, then quickly batch designing in Canva yourself. Or you can save outsourced human design help only for your absolute highest value marquee video releases, where the extra polish is worth the investment. Here are a few pro-level secrets I personally use on almost every single thumbnail I publish across my own channels to maximize performance. Always try testing a couple of different text variations on a few of your clips to actively see which wording style gets you a noticeably better click-through rate. Small tweaks to your vocabulary can sometimes swing your overall click performance significantly in a positive direction. Remember that core rule again. Keep any critical information or small branding elements far away from those right-hand YouTube overlay zones. Try to maintain a consistent color palette or a recognizable logo placement across all your thumbnails to build a strong visual identity. That visual familiarity alone, when someone scrolls, is actually a proven factor that increases viewer trust and ultimately drives more clicks. Whenever you have the capacity, you should absolutely A/B test your thumbnails, as some creators will even rotate 2 different versions and rigorously measure which one wins the engagement battle. Alright, to finally wrap this up, think of thumbnails as the essential doorway to all your amazing content, but they absolutely do not need to become a creative bottleneck. A straightforward, repeatable thumbnail recipe is this. Grab a quick pose, export a clean freeze frame, use that simple layout with the bold short headline and the contrast block behind it. Then, just punch up the saturation and sharpness slightly, export it cleanly, and get it uploaded to the platform without delay. Now, pair that simple manual process with a smart AI clip-finding tool like Vizard, and you completely eliminate the heavy lifting of knowing what to promote and when to post it. If you are looking for direct links, or perhaps a printable checklist to follow along with, I will be dropping those resources down in the description below for you. But the most important takeaway for your channel growth is this. Be extremely efficient. Avoid over-designing everything and let automation handle the repetitive parts. This allows you to reserve all your precious creative energy for those high-impact choices that genuinely move the needle for your performance metrics. So, use Canva or Keynote for your rapid thumbnail creation. Use Vizard to find and automatically schedule the best clips, and only use outsourced design for those marquee video moments. That smart blend keeps your overall publishing pace high, while simultaneously keeping your creative stress level significantly down. I'll catch you in the very next video, where I'm breaking down specific thumbnail templates that convert well across all kinds of different niches. Plus, I'll give you a quick visual walkthrough on how to export those absolute best frames directly from Vizard clips so you never end up scrolling forever trying to find the right moment. Now go out there, implement this system, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Peace out.